All having a fantastic day. Let's analyze the price of Bitcoin here together. What is happening with Bitcoin? Just exploding here to the upside without stopping. Absolutely crazy what we're seeing right here with the price of Bitcoin. Please like and subscribe for future notifications. Show some love, and we will go through. Just want to see, am I live? Are you guys seeing me? Good morning, sir. Depending on where you are in the world, yes, definitely good morning and good evening, good afternoon. For those of you that watching late in the morning or late at night, welcome. A couple of scenarios I want to go through here. Just to see where we are. Okay. Just want to see, are we live? It's definitely lagging behind. Okay, cool. Let's get into the price of Bitcoin here. First things is I wanna go through a little bit of a higher time frame here. Okay, before we dive into the small price action over here, let's go into higher time frame and see where we are at. Okay, cool. First thing up is let's go on to the daily, right? Switch off some levels. Absolute massive explosion here to the upside. Sorry guys, I've had some technical difficulties. I'm not sure if I'm live or whether I'm not live, but there we go. Okay, just confirm in the comments, can you guys see me? Can you hear me? Is it all good? Because it seems very delayed here on my side. I just want to make sure that everything is fine. You guys can hear me, you can see me. Please let me know in the comments down below if the sound is good, if you guys can hear me. And otherwise I'll have to restart the stream because it does look like there's a little bit of a delay here on my side, but if it's all good, we can continue. Live and well, Nexa, welcome. TV, all good. Power TV, all good. Okay, perfect. Let's get into it. Right. Okay, the one thing that I was looking at, purely, you know, and I just want to use today's session to do a little bit of a brainstorming session and see where we are at and where are potential levels that we could potentially reject and turn around. Okay, so first things up is, let's just take a flip here from the bottom to this top to the bottom. Okay. We broke through here by the 618, and one can argue we can take it here to this top as well, where we've just now smashed here through the 1.618, which makes me quite excited and bullish as well, because if this is indeed, whether you count it from here, a 1, 2, 3 to the upside or a 1, 2, 3 to the upside, the levels are very close, but now we have hit a common third wave target from an Elliott wave perspective. Okay, which is quite bullish for the market, because when we were over here, kind of looked like we were forming a C wave, and these are common C wave targets, where this then is an A, B, C to the upside, and we were going to find more momentum to the downside. So quite bullish for the market and excited to see that we have now hit the 1.618. Okay, cool. So that's from a daily perspective. The other thing that I then want to watch or go through is to say, I want to count this little structure here to the upside. How high can we still go? Okay, so this third wave is now longer than the first wave, which is fantastic. Great. Loving it. Okay, cool. So let's zoom in here onto the 8 hour and count this little structure here to the upside. Okay. And I've got two scenarios prepared here. Scenario 1 and scenario 2. Right. For now, let's go through scenario 1 first. Okay. And without going into all the details of how I counted the waves inside here, I just want to entertain the scenario to say that, well, the one scenario is we have finished the fifth wave, and this could still be a corrective wave to the upside where we can reject here by the 1.236 or by the 1.382. Right. Now, the 1.618 will be a little bit too extended and could spell more momentum to the upside, where that feeds into scenario number 2. Okay, so for now, I'm trying to work out, well, was this the end of the correction, or is this still part of the correction? Right, you can also take a time fib from where the impulse started to the high, snap it on there, make sure that it's fine. And the one thing that is concerning for me, and I mean, there's always a little problem with the Elliott wave where it's breaking a rule or two, but from this impulse that we had here to the upside, the correction didn't meet a minimum target for me here by the 0.382, right? So if this is the correction, look how shallow it is from a timing perspective. Okay. Which could mean that this could still be an A, B, C to the downside. Okay, completing the structure, also correcting then after the 0.382. So purely from a timing perspective, there's a big problem that I see here, but nevertheless, there's massive bullish momentum in the air. Twitter, everyone is bullish. The demand is higher than the supply, which is driving up the price. But you know, in all honesty, people see green candles and they find narratives to support, or find information to support their narratives. Okay. So this is the one scenario that I'm looking, is to say that, well, this could still play out where we have a flat B to the upside, where basically your corrective structure takes the high, okay, and these are the targets, where we then still have a deeper C correction to the downside. Okay, so this scenario is not out the window just quite as yet. Right. Then let's take the scribble out the way. Scenario number 2, and I actually want to just drag this fib into my scenario number 1, so I've got all the information there. Scenario number 2 is as follows. And it kind of presents itself with the same issue, is to say that, okay, well, perhaps we are making a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are busy now with the 5th wave here to the upside. Okay, and the 5th wave can hit the 1.618 as an extended 5th wave, where we can then start making an AB deeper correction to the downside, potentially even coming to tap this trend line. Okay. Also, from a timing perspective, you sit with the same scenario where, let's take the time fib from wave 2 to wave 3, and you can see the correction for the 4th wave was also made before the 0.382, which is generally considered a minimum target for a corrective structure. So when you have an impulse to the upside, your corrective structure is usually a 1-to-1 ratio, okay, and then you find momentum back to the upside, but generally considering it's a minimum target here by the 0.382. Okay, so ideally you want actually your corrective structure to end here by the 1-to-1 ratio, which is a nice balance. You have your impulses, your nice 1-to-1 ratio corrective structure, and then you find momentum to the upside. Okay, but nevertheless, if this was, you know, let's entertain the scenario, if this was the end of the 4th wave and we are now busy with the 5th wave here to the upside, entertaining scenario number 2 that I've got over here, then I was trying to count this corrective structure here to the downside. So let me perhaps switch this off and let's zoom in here onto the 4-hour. Okay, cool. Now we're looking at this corrective structure over here. You can take the time fib out as well. Okay, so perhaps this was an A, B, C to the downside. And then when I take a fib from the top to where B ended, or where A ended, to see, well, where did B retrace to? It retraced to the 0.236, which is a rare target for a B wave. You would expect the B wave to at least, let me just grab my pen here, to at least come up a little bit higher to the 382, okay, for then a C wave to the downside, where you then have an A, B, C. Nevertheless, if we entertain the scenario, I can then see, okay, well, at least we did hit a fib target. very shallow B wave to the upside where we hit the 0.236. Okay, then the other way that we can go and measure this wave is to say that, well, does the C wave meet any required targets? You take your fib extension, A, B, C. Okay, cool. So I take it from the top to where A ended and to where B ended, and the minimum C wave target is the 0.618. It's rare, but it is a minimum C wave target, which it did hit. Okay, so there's definitely a timing issue here, right? But if you force a count over here, you can count an ABC structure, an ABC structure. Okay, at least the C wave hit a minimum target, the B wave a very shallow target, which could mean that this could be wave 4, and we are now busy with a 5th wave here to the upside. Right. Okay. What else? Just to purely from an education perspective, that's just, I'm trying to see where can we turn around here, and are we still going to find massive bullish momentum here to the upside? Okay, cool. Looking at this structure, this could then be a 1, 2, 3 to the upside, 4, 5, and we'll just have to see where those waves are going to end. So taking a fib from this low to the high to where the corrective structure ended, we had an ABC, ABC, ABC. Okay, cool. So that's basically where the corrective structure ended. And if this is indeed a 1, 2, 3, a general or a common third wave target is here by the 1.618. Usually a maximum C wave target, but I have seen C waves going to the 2.618, even to the 3.618. But regardless, we have now smashed through this 1.618 level, and we are just climbing up here. So perhaps next stop is here by the 2.618, which is $56,000. So if this is indeed a third wave, third waves love the 618 targets. Okay, 3.618, 4.618. Let me just take this out. 4.618, 5.618. Okay, cool. The one thing that I do not like is volume. Okay, we'll get to volume in a moment. So I'm purely just brainstorming here with you guys to say that, well, is this just going to continue, or are we going to find a little bit of a cool off before we find again momentum to the upside, or are we going to have that deep correction to $32,000 level that everyone is eyeing, waiting for that pre-halving dump before we see the real boom market kick in? Or is this time going to be different and we're just going to rocket from here? Okay, so going through the scenario number 1 and 2 that I've just highlighted, you can see that there are a couple of Elliott wave problems purely from a timing perspective, where the corrections don't really make sense from on both scenarios, right? So scenario number 1 is we busy, or scenario number 2 is we're still busy with a 5th wave, and we can turn around here by the 1.618. And there's another way that I wanted to work out a 5th wave target. 5th wave targets can be calculated in 3 ways. So the one way is that you take your fib extension from the top of 3 to the bottom of 4, which I've done here, and you get your 1.618 target. Okay, you'll see there's a little bit of overlap, because the other way to calculate it is you take your fib extension from the bottom of 2, or from the bottom of 1, where the impulse started, to the top of this potential 3, you drag it down to 4, and then let me just put it over there so that everyone can see it. Okay, cool. The 0.618 is also a very common 5th wave target, which is in alignment with this 1.382 for a potential B flat target where we're going to turn around. Okay, so we're not out of the danger zone yet, right? There are still levels here where we can turn around and have a deeper correction, even to come and test this trend line again. Okay, yeah, by $37,000, obviously price will continue, and by the time it gets to the trend line, the price will be a little bit higher. Okay, cool. So purely from an Elliott wave perspective, this is what I'm looking at. And yeah, for now, price is pumping, and it does still look like we have a little bit more red volume than green volume kicking in. Ideally, what you want to see in a third wave, or in a final wave is what is characteristic about the wave is you want to see green volume starting to kick in, and it feels like it's lacking at the moment. If you look at this green volume over here, where we've simply formed a one wave to the upside, and volume is just decreasing here, which could mean that this is still a corrective structure to the upside purely from a timing perspective. Okay, I hope this makes sense. Cool. Let's zoom into the smaller time frames, switch this off, and see, well, where are we right now? Okay. From an hourly perspective, what I can see over here, okay, for those of you, before we go on, for those of you that have not watched the easiest trading strategy out there, please go and watch this video over here. Go into my channel, select the easiest trading strategy. Great alpha in this video. If you think trading is difficult and you see my Elliott waves and you feel overwhelmed and you don't know how we're doing it, the levels and the fib extensions that we're using, you can make trading as easy or as difficult as you want. Go and watch out, or go check out this video where I explain how you can make significant gains with one line. Okay, one line. You can make trading as easy or as difficult as you want. Right. Also, for my community only, let me just pause this over here. I've had a conversation with my favorite exchange that I like to trade on. If you go into the movie or the video, you select the description, you can see I had a conversation with Bybit. And for my community, an exclusive offer has been created where when you deposit $100 and you simply trade $500 in volume, which is extremely simple, you get $30 added to your account. Go down, select this link, sign up to benefit from this special offer today. Right, especially for my community members. Let's get back into the price here of Bitcoin and see where we are. Okay, cool. So for now, my simple trendline strategy for that video that I've just shown you has been working out beautifully. In the Legends community, if you don't know what the Legends community is, link also down in the description, a Discord community where I post daily updates in terms of the trend lines, the trades that I'm anticipating. Are we going down? Are we going up? And just to show you guys, here's our Legends community where we don't just provide signals, we provide video updates in terms of what are we expecting, levels to watch, risk management on a daily basis. And you can see, I'm so proud of some of these legends. Like this SGS guy has just been nailing it, pointing out this potential bump and run scenario. And then what happened? We had this beautiful bump and run scenario, even going much higher than the highs, which is usually the target for a bump and run. Okay, cool. And I can just see here in the money shots as well that people are absolutely killing it. 359%, 222%, 263%. And, we encourage people to post their losses as well. And here I can see someone made 100%, but look how well they managed their risk. So if you do get stopped out, you're losing 4%, 1.8%, but you are still gaining more than what you're losing. So Legends, I am extremely proud of you guys for practicing good risk management and killing it during this momentum to the upside. And remember, if you want to join, the link is down in the description where you get 25% discount. Right. Cool. Now I'm watching this little structure here to the upside, and now we can start applying a little bit of Elliott wave theory here as well, is to say, well, the simple way of trading this momentum to the upside is you have a simple trend line, you play the breakout, you see high volume kicking in, you put your stop loss below the low, and off to the races you go. If you go check out that other video, you will see that I have been playing this breakout strategy all the way up since we broke out from this massive triangle over here. Okay. Put your trend over there, and I think I started playing the move over here. So you don't have to FOMO. You really don't have to FOMO. You wait for the breakout, sip on your cup of tea, and then you say, okay, I'm going to start implementing my one line strategy. And there was a beautiful breakout, beautiful breakout, beautiful breakout. And please go and check out the video for more detail on how I made significant gains on this move up without FOMOing into trade and still practicing good risk management. Right. So the one thing I am now looking at price action over here, is what if this was 1, 2, 3 to the upside, or what if this is a 1, 2, 3 to the upside? Okay, so simple, you take your fib from the bottom to the top, we drag it down, say that, well, this is potentially a 1, 2, and we are busy with a third wave to the upside. The tricky thing about third wave is it's already hit a common 1.618 target. Okay, and we did get an initial rejection, and I thought, okay, hang on, this could potentially be that rejection where we now make a fourth wave to the downside, then complete the fifth wave, and we turn around. But now we are consolidating above this 1.618, which could spell that we are building up strength to come and claim the next 618 level. And then we'll just have to observe price action when we get there. And if it does the same thing, not breaking down, then we're going to go to the 3.618 level. Okay, so we'll just have to observe the price reaction as we hit each level. Okay, another interesting thing that I've noticed is when you go onto the monthly time frame. Let's go into the monthly time frame over here. Hi Tatuga, just reading through the comments here. Hi Tatuga, one of my mods, welcome. Alan Clark, good afternoon. Is there bearish divergence on CVD? 3 minutes. I'll go check out CVD right now. It looked very slight. Yes, I did actually spot some bullish and bearish CVD. It was a little bit of a mix over there. Yeah, but we can go through CVD right now, also looking a bit at liquidity. The one thing I just wanted to point out here as well is when you go into the monthly time frame, okay, and this is purely based on a range low or a range high strategy, is to say, looking at this monthly candle over here, okay, when you tap a nice little momentum candle like this for the first time, and you go down and you tap it for a second time, it increases the probabilities that you are going to fill it up until you get to this wick over here as a minimum target, but you could fill the whole candle. So perhaps, you know, there is still some juice in the tank here to $33,500, give or take. We'll just have to see how that aligns with my scenario 1 and 2 levels as well. But for now, you know, there's a lot of gas in the tank and it just looks like it's finding lots of strength to the upside. But I'll be honest with you, I mean, where's the volume? Why, you know, look at these small little candles over here, and we had massive volume pushing up. Now we have a bigger push up, but where's the volume? And perhaps it's because we're still here on the 14th of Feb. Oh, happy Valentine's Day for everyone. If you haven't spoiled your better half, please go and buy some roses, chocolates, a massage, rip out some baby oil, you know, do what you need to do to keep your partner happy. Right. Okay, cool. But I mean, there's still a lot that can happen during Feb, so we'll just have to see, does it leave a nasty wick behind? Do we go up or down? Other interesting thing, I just want to check here on the daily. Just wait for it to load up. Okay, cool. Take a fib from the top to the bottom. Okay, we have currently smashed here through the 0.618 level. Okay, for me to turn bearish and to put in a nice little short entry from a swing perspective, I would like to see us leave a wick behind and close below the 0.618. Okay, but it does look like we could potentially SFP from this high over here, but there's not much volume here. I think even if I switch on the VRVP, that shows me the most volume traded during this whole consolidation. Just want to see what is going on here from a volume perspective. Okay, not much volume over here between the 618 and the 786. So volume only starts kicking in here by the 0.786, which is at $57,558. Okay, so if we do find strength and we perhaps, I want to see how we're going to react at this little pivot over here. Okay, if we find strength here to break through with high green volume and we consolidate above, next target will be the 0.786, which also closes that monthly gap that I've just shown. Okay, for now we have to acknowledge that we are in bullish structure. massive bullish structure, okay, where we have higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs, higher highs. And I mean, when is this going to end? It's just going up and up and up. And we haven't broken structure yet from a macro perspective to say that we are going to find lower levels to potentially here by the $32,000 level. Okay, this was a bit confusing over here, where you have a higher high and now you make a lower low compared to these lows over here, but that could have also been a liquidity grab for momentum to the upside, or perhaps this is that B flat, part of the correction to the upside, where we're going to see still a turnaround in this area or deeper correction. Cool. Let's go through the comms section. Say hi to the community. Hi. How high will we go, do you think? And how big will the drop be, you think? 43K? So, I mean, interesting question. I have gone through some of those scenarios already, but just a little bit of a recap. I think zooming into this structure over here, okay? Let's go back onto the 12 hour. Switch off VRVP. Just take some of the stuff out the way. Okay, when I look at this structure over here and I switch on, my most bullish scenario that I have for now is to say that, well, what if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? If this is indeed the structure that's going to play out, okay, you could see a much larger A, B, C correction to the downside. It is very difficult to work out the C target of where the correction can end if I don't have at least an A wave to see where B is going to end. So you have to wait for the A and the B to be in order to calculate where the C can take you. Okay. From a scenario 1 perspective, I can already start working it out to say that, well, if this was the end of the impulse and this is part still of a corrective structure, now I can go and work out where the C wave can take us, is to say that, well, we can still reject here by the 1.382, $53,000, 162. Okay, now I can take a trend-based fib and from from 5 to A to B, now we can go work out C wave targets. Okay, so let's say we still find strength here to the upside and we close here by the 1.382. So we'll have to wait for that rejection in this area if this is indeed a B flat target. Right, now we can go and see, okay, common C wave targets are, or the minimum the minimum C wave target is the 0.618, which is $46,000, where we could find support for more momentum to the upside. Okay, common C wave targets are here by the 1236, 1382, where we will hit $40,000 to $38,000, and a common C wave target as well, or extended C wave target is here by the 1.618, we will hit $36,000. Okay, so these are all C wave targets if we are going to find a rejection in this area over here. Okay, all C wave targets, and it's about observing price reaction as we hit those targets and working out daily, weekly levels, point of controls, volume strategies, and yeah, we'll just have to see how this goes. But in all honesty, I have seen C waves even do this. Okay, it just depends on how bad the news is. And you know, when we had the FTX collapse, that was quite significant, where some of the C waves hit even expansive C wave targets of 2.618, 3618. I have seen that happen quite often as well. Right, but I mean, $20,000, $25,000, yeah, I don't think we were going to hit those levels, considering the ETFs and everyone buying up the ETFs, and the demand at the moment is not the supply is not keeping up with demand at the moment. Okay, cool. So I hope that answered your question, is to say that, well, I'm expecting as a maximum target for, if we do turn around in this area, I'm expecting a maximum target of $36,000, where we could find a momentum back to the upside, but it could be as shallow as $40,000. Okay, right, hit the like button. Yes, please smash up the like, show some love, and let's go through a couple of altcoins just to see, well, you know, is the altcoins benefiting from this move to the this momentum to the upside as well. One coin that I did trade quite aggressively was Dogecoin. Okay, and you can see I'm using simple trendline strategies to trade my favorite altcoins because they do not respect daily, weekly point of controls levels as much as Bitcoin does. Okay, the last time I did an update, I was tracking this momentum here to the downside. Just make sure I don't have my pen yet. Okay, I was tracking this momentum here to the downside. You can see I still have my alarm. I can delete that right now. And I played this little breakout. Beautiful little breakout. And I'm currently still in the trade. My stop loss was below this low, so even this momentum here to the downside didn't stop me out. I'm currently still in the trade. I have taken some profits here on the move up, but I have re-entered or added to my position when I saw these little wicks confirming momentum here to the upside. And at the moment we have broken out with relatively high green volume here on Doge. Okay, so finding support, you can see we're finding support here above these highs. Okay, finding support above these highs, and for momentum to continue to the upside, you want to see us hold this level, right? And yeah, you can zoom into smaller time frames where you can play the one line strategy. Please go check out that video that I've highlighted. And for now, I'm just holding on to my bags and see where Doge can take us. And let's go here onto the daily. Just want to show everyone what I'm seeing at the moment. You know, I've been tracking here this momentum to the upside, but this has been a very long consolidation area. And usually when you consolidate for this long, you know, you can expect a massive explosion either to the up or to the downside. But for now, I am playing to the upside because we have broken trend. That little trend that I had over there, I can actually take it out now. And I was waiting for this trend to be broken to the upside, which we have now broken. So I am quite bullish at the moment on Doge because it's one of those altcoins that hasn't run yet. Okay, cool. What else? I've also played a trade on Atom. Let me just check. Where did I enter Atom? Okay, so I played this breakout and then I added to my position when we broke this little trend over here. And I was targeting the highs, this high over here, which we now took. So I took about 60-70% profit, and I'm still waiting for us to at least come and tap this 1.618 level over here, which has confluence with this little pivots, grabbing the liquidity on top. But I mean, we can explode to the 2618, 3618, 4618. Right, just take the foot there out the way, make it a little bit clean. But Atom, definitely a coin that looks interesting to me. What else? Link. Everyone loves a little bit of Link. I mean, this was the best place to buy. Definitely the best place to buy. We consolidated, and as I mentioned in some of my other updates as well, is that you want to see us hold the support, which we are currently holding. The only concerning thing for me about Link was that we are currently consolidating here by the 1.618. So when I zoom into the structure, just to show everyone where I get this level from, is if this is a 1, 2, 3 to the upside, you can see that we are consolidating here by the 1.618. This is potentially building up a spring for momentum to the upside, or we're going to find a rejection. Okay, but for now, it looks like the probabilities are higher for us to break towards the upside, where we could go and tap the 2618, the 3618, and the 4618. When I zoom out a little bit, these levels do have confluence. The 2618 has confluence with these little supports over here, where we found support, we broke through, again we found support, and definitely an area that I'll keep in mind. And I see some traders are also looking at this as a potential cup and handle, where you have the cup, you have the handle, and I mean, an easy way to work that out is you take a trend from the neckline to the lowest point, and let's be conservative, let's just do that. And then from a pattern perspective, you play the breakout, where you can see you can even target here the 3.618 if this move is going to play out according to a pattern strategy, right, which takes you to $28. So still some gas in the tank for Link at the moment, but we are at a critical level. We just have to realize that we are here at the critical level at a 618, struggling to either break down or to break up. Currently consolidating, but it does look like a spring building up for an explosion at some point. Right, let's look at dominance. I just want to have a look here at dominance. What's interesting here about dominance, I spoke about the 786 level, okay, where we've broken this trend to the downside, and I was waiting for a rejection which has confluence with this momentum line, the 786, where we got rejected perfectly, and perhaps we'll have to see how this plays out. We're gonna do this, and this move can be quite significant for some of the alts. And that's why I'm still anticipating that some of the altcoins are going to explode, like Link and Doge and Atom, some of the coins that I'm watching at the moment, is to say that this can be significant enough for some of the altcoins to do massive bullish things. Also looking at ETH, what was interesting about ETH here is that we tapped the top of the channel here again. Right, I know I'm jumping around, but I'm looking at all aspects and all the altcoins. If I go here back onto the daily just to refresh everyone's memory, I'm still tracking this channel. Okay, just wait for it to load up. Right, where we tap the top, we tap the bottom, not managing to break through this resistance, which we now flipped into support. And we tapped the top, we came back crashing down, we tested the 50% level of this channel, and now we're at the top again. Very interesting. Is that a rejection point, or is this, because I can see, you know, we're fighting with this resistance over here, definitely fighting with this resistance, but I mean, this can be very bullish for ETH when I switch on my bullish scenario. Let's see if I still have these things over here. Scenario 1, scenario 2. Okay, if I switch on my bullish scenario, just, you know, there's some Elliott wave counts here, basic Elliott wave counts here, is to say that, well, if we are going to break the channel to the upside, I do see us hitting here $3,500 to $4,000 with this move to the upside for Ethereum. It needs to play a little bit of catch up with Bitcoin. Right. Okay, let's go through some comments. Hello, thanks for your work. Alano, hello and thanks for your work. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Is it a good time to buy? Well, what do you want to buy? Bitcoin, Ethereum. At the levels where we are right now, it's a no trade zone for me. The best place to have bought, let me just switch off these scenarios, clean up the chart a little bit. Please do not FOMO into trades. I just want to highlight again, you know, if you want to keep it simple for yourself, where's that? If you want to keep it simple for yourself, go to YouTube. Okay. Go to my channel and you will see the easiest trading strategy. Go and watch that video. If you have not watched that video, please go and apply this strategy for momentum to the upside so that you do not FOMO into trades and you still apply amazing good risk management and make significant gains to the upside. So depending on whether you're playing Bitcoin or altcoins, this strategy for me works on any coin, right? Except for some of the meme coins, meme coins, which are, yeah, I don't trade the meme coins. They are just too aggressive, rug pulls, but please go and check out this video. Let's go back here onto the price of Bitcoin. At the moment, we are in a no trade zone for me. So let's go here onto the 15-minute. The best trade that you could have taken today was the break of this trend. Okay, cool. You want to see potential bump and run. Bump and you run. Okay, bump and run scenario. Also, this little breakdown to the downside was also confirmed with CVD. Okay, I know one of you asked about CVD. Let's go look at CVD and what happened over here and how you could have used CVD to your advantage to play both the move to the downside and also this breakout over here. Let's go and see what CVD says. Okay, I'm here on the 5-minute. Let's see what's happening here with CVD. I do spot some massive bearish CVD. Okay, before we get into that, I am spotting some bearish CVD. Lower low in price action, or lower high, and CVD moving up, which could mean that we are going to come and take this low. Okay, so not significant as yet, but nevertheless some bearish CVD building up here. Taking this high would mean that the CVD is invalidated and we're looking for higher prices. Okay, let's zoom in here. that little momentum breakdown that we had is I had my trend over here. Okay, just going back to the price of Bitcoin, had my trend over there. And then as the price moved down, you can see lower high in price action, CVD aggressively moving up. And then we broke the trend line and we came back for a retest. And that retest just pushed up CVD even more. So what that means is this is massive absorption of longs. Okay, market wants, so massive limit orders are pushing or buying up the retail traders that are trying to push up the price. Okay, and then we had beautiful momentum here to the downside, claiming or bouncing on top of these highs as support. Okay, this was also a beautiful trade, also highlighted in the Discord community yesterday. Is you make a low, you SFP the low, you claim you reclaiming the low, you come back up for a nice little long entry to the upside. So whoever took this little scalp over here and left some of his position open, nice little profits where we are right now to the upside. Okay, but for now, CVD has played out and is neutralized. And more locally, I've already pointed out that I do spot a little bit of bearish CVD over here, but I mean the target is not very far away. Okay, cool. What else? Let's go through the comments. Okay, I just want to check here. Still struggling with this 0.618 or 1.618 level over here. Okay. What is quite bullish about this at the moment, chart artists, is that we are consolidating above the 1.618. Usually when you are rejecting from a 618 level, you want to see the consolidation below, like what happened here. We spiked in and we immediately got a rejection. So what you would have liked to see is us moving down immediately. The fact that we are now back above the level, consolidating above, could mean that we are building up that spring for momentum to the upside to even come to the next 618 level, which is at $53,000.61. Okay. Right, let's go through the comments. Can you check Turbo? How does the TA look? We'll see if we can get to that. Turbo versus Jesus. Ooh, okay, we've got some religious people here in the community. Right. I just got my cable here in the way. Rebelon. Hi Devil, nice to see you. Can you check BTC dominance? Okay, I've just gone through the dominance. Hope you saw that part. If you didn't see the dominance, please go back and see what I've explained over there. Okay, thank you very much. Cool. Johnny Turbo, give us a TA breakdown. Yeah, nice timing, Devil. Thank you. Devil, great analysis, thanks. Can you please take a look at DXY? Right, let's go and have a look at the DXY. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the last time I watched or looked at the DXY, it was pumping. Just wait for this to load up. You're on the daily. Ooh, I haven't analyzed actually the DXY in a while, but what I can see just by looking at the DXY, that we are currently, when you connect your pivots, we are close to resistance, but purely a diagonal resistance over here. And let's do this. I just want to see from a FIB perspective, from the high to the low. Okay, we have broken through the 618, and it does still look bullish. I mean, the fact that we've closed a daily candle above the 0.618 could mean that we're still going to find momentum up here on this resistance area. Okay, here by the 786. But for now, I mean, from a larger macro perspective, we made the low over here. Okay, we made a higher high. We made a higher high here. Now we made a higher low. So potentially what can happen here is if we break this trend and do this, that's going to be very bearish for Bitcoin and for risk on assets. Okay, so perhaps that scenario 2 or 1 is going to play out, where we're making a bigger B flat target to the upside where we can still see a deeper correction, because I do not see the DXY doing this and Bitcoin still pumping like crazy unless we see the correlation break, which has happened in the past. But for now, it's still following, you know, the negative correlation where DXY moves up, Bitcoin and risk on assets move down. Okay, cool. What else? BTC and ETH. I've gone through ETH. One more common question. What do you think? Which area of crypto will be next? Top. FOMO. Gaming. Coins. Media. I actually only trade mostly layer 1 coins. And if I do see an opportunity on an altcoin, is that I don't really trade fundamentals. From a day trading perspective, I am a bull and a bear in one day. I am, and I've just learned over the years that if you are leaning bearish or you are leaning bullish, the market will surprise you every single time. And remember, the market can remain irrational for longer than you can remain solvent. So if I see a short opportunity, I take it. You know exactly what happened here on Bitcoin is that we are in massive momentum here to the upside. But what prevented you from taking this short over here? You can be a bull and a bear. Yeah, I was bullish, we broke the trend. Massive momentum to the upside. Yeah, I was bearish. Massive momentum to the downside. Okay, again, trend, we broke out. Now I'm bullish again. Okay, and depending on what price action offers me over here, I can turn bearish very quickly, is to say that, well, if we reject, okay, if we start rejecting from this 1.618 level, not managing to break through, we could come down, perhaps retest this trend, make a lower high, and find continuation to the downside. It's about observing the market structure and how we react at certain levels. Right. Cool. I am going to call it a day. Thanks for watching, everyone. Yeah, I think I'm going to call it a day. Thanks for watching, everyone. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the love. Please smash up the like, hit the subscribe button for future notifications. And until the next update, cheers for now.